Hi, this is Kirsten Bullock with Growing Your Donors. Thanks for joining me here today. There's one thing about growing your list and growing awareness in the community that we all Hi, this is Kirsten Bullock with Growing Your Donors. Thanks for joining me today. I'm going to be sharing over a series of short videos 4 keys to growing awareness and building your list. There's one thing that I keep on hearing from nonprofits out in the community. It's that they're the best kept secret in town. And it doesn't have to be that way. And a lot of people have been talking about growing your list as if it's this big separate new kind of thing. But it's really something that nonprofits have been struggling with for years. It's about getting the word out there, it's about getting in front of new people, and it's about expanding our influence and the difference and the changes and the impact that we can have in the world around us. And we can only do that if we're expanding the groups of people that we're talking to. So over this video series, I'm going to be covering 4 tips to do that. And today I'm going to talk about consistency. Because one of the first things that we need to remember to do as we're communicating with people is to be consistent. And there's a few reasons why that's important. First of all, it builds trust. If we say that we're going to be communicating with people on a regular basis and then we do it, then that's fulfilling a promise that we've made, and it builds that trust that then donors will have a higher level of trust that will be around next year and still be using their funds wisely. It also builds familiarity. People get comfortable with us as we're communicating with them on a regular basis, on a consistent basis. And there's one thing to remember: if you collect email addresses and say, yes, we're going to be communicating with you, and you don't, let's say you wait 6 months, a year, and you've had these emails, you've been sitting on them. I'm sure that hasn't happened with your organization, but I hear it happening in a lot of organizations, that people are just collecting email addresses because that's how you build your list. But then they're not communicating afterwards. And what that does is, say it's been 6 months, a year, people forget that they've signed up. And then all of a sudden they get an email from you and they flag it as spam. And that hurts your deliverability rates, it hurts a lot of different things. So that's kind of an aside, but you definitely want to be communicating with people as you've collected their information and consistently. Another reason it's important, it builds your confidence. So it becomes easier over time to come up with things to write about. It just becomes easier, confidence is increased, and the first time doing anything is hard. I don't know, I'm sure you probably learned how to ride a bike once upon a time, and it took me a long time to learn how to ride a bike. I had scrapes and bruises, and I don't know, it took me 6 months or a year, or maybe it was a couple years, but it took me a long time to figure out how to do it right. But I tried consistently and eventually was able to do that. And that's just like it is with anything new. But I think it's harder as we get older to learn new things, because all of a sudden we're supposed to be experts, we're supposed to know what we're doing, and then all of a sudden we have to learn something new, and it can be scary and frightening. But it is possible, and by doing it over time, you will get better and get more confident about it. And then finally, the important thing is you're there when the time is right. So let's say we never know when the right time is going to be for somebody to give a gift. So if we're in front of people on a consistent basis, then when it's time for them, when it's comfortable for them to make a gift, you're right there in front of them. You're top of mind. So when the time is right, then will be the right time for them, and everything works out and everybody's happy. But thanks so much for joining me. This has been about consistency in our communications with our donors and keeping people informed. And over the next 3 videos, I'll share 3 more tips. So thanks again. Talk to you soon.